welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so you've sent us some really fascinating material today. It's a digest from Charlene Gilman, who's the CEO and founder of Black Diamonds Evolve. And she's focusing on AI, specifically its impact on the architecture, engineering, and construction industry, AEC for short. Now, for those maybe less familiar, AEC, well, it covers a huge range, designing buildings, managing big infrastructure projects, you name it. Our mission today really is to explore how this industry, built on tangible things and often long project cycles, can integrate something as fast-moving as AI. Let's unpack this.
Indeed. And what's really interesting is Charlene's take on AI. She doesn't just see it as like another software update. She calls it a transformative powerhouse tool for AEC. So this isn't just about, say, being a bit more efficient. It's hinting at a pretty fundamental shift in how things get done. And we can explore her approach, which seems to be twofold: educating the professionals in AEC and also offering these crucial support services like owner representation.
Right. And she really emphasizes the speed, doesn't she? That AI change is coming fast across all industries, but especially AEC. There's this sense of urgency in her writing. Like, she feels compelled to get this info out quickly. She talks about needing to wake up to what's coming our way, and to transition and grow and evolve. So her point isn't just AI is cool tech. It's more that AEC has these unique challenges, project-focused, different disciplines, maybe not always talking, tons of data that make adopting AI now really necessary. So if you're someone working at AEC, maybe just starting to get your head around AI, what's the first step? What do you do?
That's a really important question. How does an industry like AEC gear up for this kind of rapid change? Charlene points straight at a knowledge gap. It's pretty clear, she thinks, that not everyone in AEC is up to speed on AI. And people are at very different points in their learning journey. So her goal, as she puts it, is to build that bridge of knowledge, connecting the tech to the industry, making sure the understanding keeps pace with the innovation, which is vital, right? Otherwise, you get fragmentation. Some parts moving fast, others left behind. It highlights that need for education that's accessible and practical.
That knowledge gap, yeah, that seems key. And her company, Black Diamonds Evolve, you mentioned it tackles this with AI classes specifically for AEC folks. Makes sense. But she also talks about owner representation, which maybe not everyone listening knows exactly what that entails. It's basically having someone act purely on the owner's behalf during a project, right? Like a dedicated advocate, especially on big, complex jobs. Can we dig into that a bit more?
Absolutely. And connecting it back, owner representation, it plays this critical coordination role. Especially, she says, for larger projects when there are so many players involved, the owner just can't be everywhere tracking everything. Yeah. So Charlene steps in to coordinate and make sure things still continue to move forward. But it's not just about checking boxes or managing schedules. She also bridges communication gaps. Maybe the architect or the contractor is explaining something technical, and the property owner is just on a different knowledge plane, as she describes it. Her role is really about creating cohesiveness and connectivity for success, translating things, ensuring everyone's aligned.
Okay, that clarifies it. Now, something that really jumped out at me is Charlene's own background. It's not the typical AEC path. She started at AEC in 2015 as an owner's rep, then worked with firms doing reality capture, so scanning real places into digital models, digital twins, 3D laser scanning, BIM, all that cutting-edge stuff. But before all of that, she was in finance. And get this, at 20 years old, she was co-managing a $1 billion fund. You just say, $1 billion. That's quite a starting point.
It really is. And what's fascinating is thinking about how that robust background and knowledge from finance, managing these very complex, large projects, how that informs her work in AEC now. It suggests, a really strong grounding in risk assessment, handling complex systems, solving high-stakes problems, skills that are incredibly relevant now, especially with AI adding new layers of complexity and opportunity to AEC projects. And just as important, I think, is her commitment to AI itself. She's been studying it since 2020, and she openly says how different it is even now, acknowledging it's a constant learning curve that positions her not just as some expert talking down, but as someone learning alongside her clients, navigating this stuff too. It gives her credibility, I think.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not just theory for her. So her weekly digest, then, that's her vehicle for getting this rich educational information out there using that perspective. And she talks about needing responsibility, accountability, and a respect when working with AI. Building high-level solutions requires that mindset. So for you, listening, what's the core message here about how to approach AI adoption? What's the takeaway?
Well, it comes back to that uncertainty, doesn't it? How do we deal with something that's moving so fast? Charlene's aim seems to be helping AEC pros adopt using AI without feeling like there's no way to understand it or there's the unknown. She really emphasizes that there's so much more to build off of this. It's like AI isn't the endpoint, it's a foundation. So her approach, it feels like it's not just about dumping facts on people, it's more about fostering a confident and responsible way to engage with this tech, which, let's face it, is here to stay and only going to get bigger. It's about empowering people, really, helping them be part of the solution, not just, overwhelmed by the change.
That's a great way to put it. What an insightful deep dive this has been, really digging into AI and AEC through Charlene Gilman's lens. Her journey, that unique background, and her focus on bridging those knowledge gaps.
Yeah.
It really sets the stage for how people can navigate this.
Absolutely. And if we pull back to the bigger picture, the key takeaway isn't just learn AI software. It's more about embracing that continuous learning mindset she embodies, making sure we're applying it responsibly, ethically, and actively looking for ways to build new things with it. Which leaves us all with a pretty important question, doesn't it? How will your industry, or maybe even just your day-to-day work, how will it be transformed by a powerhouse tool like AI if approached with that responsibility, accountability, and a respect? Something to think about as you continue your own journey.